A few days ago, I made a video where a PlayStation podcaster was saying that one of the reasons PlayStation is in the place that it is that the common denominator is that it took its games to PC. Now, this was a claim that I didn't necessarily take too lightly, but again, I think what's necessary here is that we take a data-centric approach to evaluating how PlayStation games have been doing since they actually started a huge barrage on the PC platform. That particular year where they did this was in 2022. In my opinion, it was also kind of, in a sense, a convergence where I made a video saying, man, PlayStation, you need to move your butts to PC because that's where it's happening. PC gamers are not shy in buying a good game. They'll buy a good game. They'll support it if they enjoy the game. Now, that year, when PlayStation basically threw down, they went in with Spider-Man. I mean, they'd gone in with Horizon Zero Dawn in 2017. It was not necessarily anything new for them, but I'm picking on 2022 because I think it was quite pivotal. And in that particular year, when they basically dropped Spider-Man, Spider-Man made its way into the silver category in terms of sales. Now, there are a few games that are in that category that we know a little bit about their sales. Now, the information we have is kind of spotty, to be honest, but we can kind of guess in a sense. Like Elder Scrolls Online is a live service game, $15 million a month, according to a LinkedIn, job. I think it was someone's resume or something. But again, we're not saying that Marvel Spider-Man Remastered was making $15 million a month, but some of you know what the data look like. I think it was said that it sold about 100,000 copies in the first few hours or something. The sales on PC really did bring in some really decent money for them. And the game really did rank in that particular category. Now, keep in mind that if we go back to like 2019, you can probably see some other titles, but God of War also came out and ranked in the gold category. So these games that were already old games on the PlayStation platform come to PC years later, and they're basically making their way into high rankings, making money for PlayStation, and it seems like the strategy had some sense to it. Okay? Now, that is just the year 2022. We move further into the year 2023, where I think this was a very interesting year for PlayStation because those games that they launched around the 2022 time then came back the very next year and still raked in as much money as some, hits like, and I say hits, but they're normal hits basically on PC, like Farming Simulator, Grounded. But you see Miles Morales and you see Spider-Man Remastered as well in this list. And then The Last of Us Part 1 Remastered as well in the bronze category. Not as high as the silver category, but still respectably in the bronze category. But again, you can't necessarily expect that much from a game or these games that were already years old before PlayStation decided that they were going to port them to PC. And, gamers were willing to appreciate it. There's nothing wrong in it in terms of that, possibility. And 2024, I think, really did make a very interesting play in terms of PlayStation, with Helldivers 2 entering a brand new launch into the platinum category, basically rubbing shoulders with games like Power World, PUBG, Call of Duty, Black Myth Wukong, and all the others. And Space Marine 2, probably selling somewhere maybe around close to 5 or so plus million units. But we know, all in all, it outsold Spider-Man 2 remastered on PlayStation. So again, we can also tell as well that from the player base, it was on PC that the game was being played the most, more than, we could see on PlayStation anyways. And so, it did well. I'm not going to knock it. And then Ghost of Tsushima also comes in and is in the silver category in the year 2024. A very impressive running for PlayStation, especially in the fact that they bring out a live service game in a saturated market, and also a game that is already old at this point, which is Ghost of Tsushima, because Sekiro had just basically been running free every year. If you wanted to play a hack and slash samurai game, Ronin type game, or whatever game you wanted to play, Sekiro was the game that you could, you had access to on PC, and Ghost of Tsushima made sense to come in and, in a sense, capture a piece of the market that was already here. So that did work out for them. So looking at these 3 years very shortly, we also see Horizon, Forbidden West as well in the bronze category. Not too impressive in terms of sales because of how big the Horizon name already is, but still a respectable, result at the end of the day. So PlayStation is seeing something on PC here. And to be very honest, I wish they would probably play nicer in terms of not needing the PlayStation requirement, I think they will do much better. Even with that obstacle that they set, they seem to be doing just fine on PC. The strategy seems to be working for PlayStation as, a platform, as an ecosystem, because they really have put themselves in a very interesting place where now their games launching on PC seem to have already built some kind of an audience. The question, though, is how much are they going to be able to, continue to look favorable to the eyes of PC gamers, especially those who don't want to deal with them. I think they'll be fine, because again, modders can always do away with the things that they don't want in the game. And on a PC version of a game, you can most likely mod out the PlayStation, sign-in requirement and so on and so forth, and go about playing your game without any issues. So I foresee PC players who are interested in PlayStation games continuing to buy them, and I foresee those games doing well when they launch. The thing, though, is if someone like Shuhei Yoshida is talking about sales of PlayStation games on their platforms, and PlayStation seems to have some urgency about sales, they may eventually start closing that gap to bringing those games to PC as quickly as they possibly can, because they know that they can leverage the excitement at launch for their own PC audience, because that's what they're cultivating. They're cultivating an audience on PC, and they probably will be trying to cultivate one on the Nintendo Switch 2 when that console finally drops. But the third-party, approach has been profitable for them. They've been able to benefit from it, and I'm sure they're not going to stop now because they've already seen the benefits of bringing your game to more audiences. It's kind of funny, though, isn't it? It's a little ironic to see this as a whole. But let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.